farm in Denver, so Gavin hung out with him on a regular basis. Ever since coming to Austin last year, Skylar had joined the staff of the Mendoza Winery, heading up branding for the company. Gavin had spent his entire career with a corporate law firm headquartered in Denver. He knew his parents were proud of all of them, but Maddie had the same passion for real estate as Kenneth, and she'd gone toe-to-toe with Zach until they'd fallen in love. It made Gavin smile to see his practical, pragmatic sister head over heels, especially since Zach was the perfect partner for her, as driven and dedicated to the business as Maddie. "Maybe you'll be the one to tie the knot in Houston," Skylar suggested cheerily. "I could see it at—" "Stop." Gavin managed to extricate himself from his sister's grip without having to resort to chewing off his own arm. "I'm not getting married. What is it with everyone in this obsession with weddings? Mom and Dad have been dropping not-so-subtle hints since I stepped off the plane." Skylar sighed. "We want you to be happy." "I am happy," Gavin insisted. She arched one delicate brow in response. "You could be really happy." Gavin rolled his eyes. He wasn't about to get into an argument about his level of contentment. Of course he was happy. Why wouldn't he be? He had a great job working with a prestigious law firm and was on track to be named partner within a year. He owned a fantastic loft in the bustling lower downtown neighborhood. The city was a perfect mix of urban and outdoorsy, with enough cowboy left to appeal to his Texas heart. Plus, Colorado offered almost limitless opportunities for the adrenaline-pumping adventures Gavin couldn't seem to get enough of during his downtime. He rock climbed, mountain biked, and skied every weekend throughout the winter. Well, not this January weekend, since he was at his sister's wedding, being subjected to the third degree by his well-intentioned family. "Look at Everett," Skylar continued, pointing across the room to where their brother stood talking to a friend of their parents. His wife Lila was at his side, Everett's hand on her back. "He's happy." As if on cue, Everett glanced down at Lila, and the tenderness in his gaze made Gavin's chest ache the tiniest bit. Lila smiled up at him, practically glowing, and he drew her in closer. Gavin studied the couple, high school sweethearts who'd reunited last spring after years apart. There was something different about them tonight, a new kind of energy to their already strong connection. Skylar nudged him, drawing his attention back to her. "Don't you want a woman to look at you like that?" "What I want is a drink," he told her, "and for you to drop the subject of my love life." "When was the last time you had a serious girlfriend?" Never, Gavin thought to himself. He only dated women who wanted the same things he did: fun, adventure, and a good time. "Would you like a glass of wine?" "You didn't answer my question." Skylar placed her hands on her slim hips. As Maddie's matron of honor, she wore a burgundy-colored cocktail dress and matching heels that gave her a few extra inches of height. At 6 feet 2 inches tall, Gavin still towered over his petite sister. Her classic features and tiny frame made her look like any other beautiful young woman, but Gavin knew underneath the subtle makeup and coiffed hair beat the heart of a tenacious fighter. Once Skylar latched on to a cause, she gave "dog with a bone" new meaning. It had been that determination that had led the Fortunados to the discovery that they were actually part of the famous Fortune family. Skylar loved a challenge and a quest, and Gavin didn't relish being her next one. "Who says I don't have a serious girlfriend?" he countered, willing to say just about anything to make her drop the subject. "Maybe I just didn't want to subject her to my crazy family." "I don't believe you." "Doesn't make it less true. If you all weren't such true love tyrants, I would have told you about it before." Gavin smiled to himself. That should be enough to keep her occupied for a while. He realized his mistake as her eyes lit with excitement. "Who is she? How long have you been dating? Why didn't you bring her to the wedding?" "I'm heading to the bar," he said, invoking his big brother selective.